MCL, the word in your home.
Good morning and welcome to your one-stop breakfast program on TV, Good Morning Abia, right here on MCLtv about Abia State. And of course, you know what we actually do on Good Morning Abia every Monday, Saturday. We educate, inform, motivate, inspire, enlighten, and of course keep you abreast of what is happening in Nigeria and internationally. I am Ruth Hams and I'll be your host on today's program. Well, actually tomorrow, Abians will be heading to the polls, not just Abians, but people of Nigeria who are going to actually elect those who will be leading them for another 4 years, talking about the gubernatorial elections and of course state house of assembly elections also. And I'm sure you already are eager to go out to vote. Well, do not let anyone actually tell you that there will be violence or there will be rancor or there will be fracas at the polling units. It is your right as a citizen of Nigeria, it is your right as a resident of Abia State to go out and vote those who will actually be representing you come 4 years. So, and also say no to violence, say no to electoral violence, say no to thuggery. Parents, please tell your children not to be used as thugs. Youths, you are the future of tomorrow. The fate of the future lies in your hands. Would you actually rather destroy your future because of stipends, or would you elect those who are going to be representing you for another 4 years and make sure that future is secured? The choice is yours, the answer is yours too actually. The question is just to be answered. Well, of course, you all know tomorrow we'll be saying, we'll be going there to cast our votes. So let me ask, are you ready to cast your votes tomorrow? Are you ready to be a good citizen of Nigeria, to exercise a franchise? Are you ready to actually elect those who will be leading you and piloting the helm of affairs of the state in the next 4 years? I'm sure you're ready, and right here on MCLtv, we encourage you to go out and vote. And of course, you know, Good Morning Abia, we give you words that motivate and spur you to be better individuals, better persons, better citizens, and better parents, better people in the society. And those are the words on Bible. And on the What's on Apple this morning, we have this coming from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it says, Sarah looks back, worry looks around, faith looks up. I love this one. I personally love this one. Sarah looks back, worry looks around, and faith looks up. Most people actually cast a shadow over the future by looking at the past and looking at the mistakes of the past, looking at failures of the past. But faith always encourages you to look up and look ahead. Faith always encourages you not to be deterred by whatever must have happened in the past. The past is gone and gone forever. You cannot retrieve it no matter how much you try. Just know that tomorrow is better, the future is better. Faith looks up, sorrow looks back, sorrow looks back, and worry looks around. Worry looks around to know if there are any obstacles. How is this going to happen? How will I make this? How will I achieve my dreams, my goal, my aspiration, what I have actually said I am going to do or said I am going to achieve? How am I going to do it? Looks around. It looks around looking if there are, seeing if there are obstacles. Anxiety makes you believe that there are obstacles around that you cannot face them. But faith says, hey, man, hey, woman, I know you can make this. Just look up, just look forward, and I'm sure you will see obstacles clearing the way for you. So the question is yours. What are you going to actually be hinging your achievement on? Sorrow, which looks back, worry, which looks around, or faith, which helps you look upwards? Once again, the answer and the choice is yours. And I'm sure you've been inspired by those words of Bible telling you not to actually be deterred by things around, by your past, but by things that lie ahead of you, talking about the future. The future is always bright if only you have the faith to believe. And those are the words of Bible. Quickly move to the news to tell you what's making round in the world, and not just Nigeria, but also internationally. And now details of the news. President Muhammadu Buhari arrived his hometown of Daura yesterday ahead of tomorrow's governorship and House of Assembly elections. Buhari landed at the Daura helipad in the presidential chapter marked NAF 541 at 6:50 p.m. in company with his aides and close family members. The president was received by the Emir of Daura, Alhaji Farouk Omar, his kinsmen, and hundreds of well-wishers. The president's wife, Hajia Aisha Buhari, is to host a Thanksgiving dinner for women and youth organizations in Daura. The Independent National Electoral Commission has said it will not issue certificates of return to candidates in places where its officials are held hostage or forced to declare winners under duress in the governorship and state houses of assembly elections on Saturday. The Commission also threatened to record 0 votes and cancel results of polling units where its personnel deliberately failed to deploy the smart card readers. The chairman of the INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said this on Thursday during the meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security held at the Commission's conference room in Abuja. Yakubu said, in quote, "The Commission is concerned that many materials, including ballot boxes, voting cubicles, voter registers, and smart card readers, were lost to acts of hooliganism and thuggery in the elections held 2 weeks ago. Most worrisome is the attack on electoral officials. However, the Commission will not tolerate the act of holding INEC officials hostage and forcing them to declare winners under duress. Where such occurs, the Commission will not reward bad behavior by issuing them certificates of return." According to him, governorship election will be conducted in 29 states. State Assembly poll will elect 991 members of houses of assembly in all the states of the Federation, 6 chairmen as well as 62 councillors for the area councils in the Federal Capital Territory. The INEC chairman said that in addition to elections into 1,082 constituencies nationwide, the Commission would conduct supplementary elections in 14 states of the Federation, covering 7 senatorial districts and 24 federal constituencies. The supplementary elections, it said, were necessitated by electoral fraud, violence and thuggery perpetrated by political thugs and politicians in the February 23 elections. The INEC chairman also stated that materials for the polls on Saturday have been delivered to all states and the FCT. With this arrangement, Yakubu said the Commission was confident that all polling units would open at 8 a.m. nationwide. And the Acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammadu Adamu, has called on policemen deployed in polling units to be on alert during the governorship and House of Assembly elections on Saturday. He urged operators to be on the lookout for hoodlums that might want to truncate the exercise and those who engage in vote buying and selling. Adamu spoke through the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of election duties in the Southwest, Jibril Yakubu, who addressed senior police officers at the Oyo State Police Command headquarters in Ilele, Ibadan on Thursday. He said the murder incident recorded in the state during the February 23 elections is regrettable and urged operatives to prevent a recurrence. Adamu said red zones have been identified and are being taken care of ahead of the Saturday polls. He added that the state command is addressing the issue of inadequate securities and polling units during the last election. And the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC acting chairman Ibrahim Magui on Thursday warned judges and lawyers involved in election petition tribunals against money laundering. He said they must not allow the influence of money and other inducements to hamper the process and determine the outcome of petition. Magui in a statement noted that many judges wrongly see election tribunals and appeal panels as potential gold mines. He says some of them even lobby to be included as members. According to Magui, all lawyers and judges at the tribunals have a responsibility to dispense justice without inducement, fear or favor. He said with the international community watching, Nigerians have a patriotic duty to act responsibly and portray a good image for Nigeria. In the Nigeria Center for Disease Control has said the death toll from the Lassa fever outbreak in 2019 has increased to 93 in the country. In his weekly situation report, the NCDC stated that 1,374 suspected cases and 93 deaths were reported across 21 states, including the Federal Capital Territory as of March 3, 2019. Between February 25 and March 3, 2019, 39 newly confirmed cases were reported from 6 states, with 8 new deaths in Edo, Ondo, and Kogi states. The Director General, Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe Ihekwazu, said that there had been a rise in the number of new cases this week compared to the last 4 weeks. This is coming a week after Ihekwazu said there had been a decline compared to the 2018 outbreak. And according to him, quote, from January 1 to March 3, 2019, a total of 1,374 suspected cases have been reported in the country, out of which 420 were confirmed positive, 15 probable, and 939 negatives. Since the onset of the 2019 outbreak, there had been 93 deaths in confirmed cases. This makes the case fatality ratio in confirmed cases to 22.1%, the NCDC said. The 21 states which had recorded at least one confirmed case are Edo, Ondo, Bauchi, Nasarawa, Ebonyi, Plateau, Taraba, FCT, Adamawa, Gombe, Kaduna, Kwara, Benue, Rivers, Kogi, Enugu, Imo, Delta, Oyo, Kebbi, and Cross River State. As part of anticipation ahead of the rainy season, a medical practitioner has sensitized the public on things to do to stay healthy. He made the call in a chat with MCL News. The report.
The rainy season, which starts end of February and beginning of March, is characterized by increased rainfall, humidity. It is also a period when cultivation and planting commences. Temperature during the rainy season is as low as 26 degrees Celsius, about 78.8 Fahrenheit. Following the humidity that is prevalent at the period, the prevalence of ailments is not far-fetched. A medical practitioner who spoke to MCL News highlighted ailments associated with the rainy season. He also listed preventive measures to be taken for one to stay healthy during the season. Parents have been advised to properly clothe their kids and restrict their movement, especially around waterlogged areas. Regular medical checkup, wearing protective clothing, eating a balanced diet, fruits and vegetables, clearing of drainages, personal hygiene have been advocated to stay healthy this season. Ruth Ohams, MCL News.
Theresa May will urge the EU to help her get Brexit deal through the Commons by agreeing legally binding changes to a controversial backstop. On Friday, she will say the EU's action will have a big impact on the outcome when MPs vote on it next week. But Labour Sir Keir Starmer said it was now clear the PM would not be able to deliver the changes she promised to her failed Brexit deal. The EU says the UK must come forward with new ideas to break the deadlock. The UK is due to leave on 29th of March. Mrs May will visit workers in Grimsby, Lincolnshire on Friday, days before the second meaningful vote in the Commons on the withdrawal deal she has negotiated with the EU. And with that, we've come to the end of the news, but more news will be coming your way with the newspaper review. Please stay with us after the break.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV. One-stop breakfast show on TV. one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for house. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Chukwu na-enye ka nri onye ọbụla. Chukwu na-enye ka nri onye ọbụla. Ọ na-enye ka ndị ọrụ bekee na-eri ikpege n'ọnwa n'ọnwa. Ọ na-enye o, ọ na-enye o, ọ na-enye o.
Hello, my name is Buchi. Keep watching MCLtv and don't go away.
Aye, God has given you victory. Aye, He has given you victory. Aye, God has given you victory. Aye, He has given you victory. What's up, people? It's your boy E-Ben, ministering to God's children, and you're watching MCLtv. Don't touch that dive. Peace. I love you.
MCL, the word in your home.
one-stop breakfast show on TV. breakfast show on TV.
Ụlọọrụ MCLtv Aba na-eweta ihe omume ọgbakọ ụmụaka pụrụ iche akpọrọ nnọkọ ụmụaka nke ha na Chimere Chigbu na-anọkọ. Sonyere anyị na ihe omume a dịka ụmụaka ga-egosipụta nke ha ji biri n'ịsụ asụsụ Igbo. A na-agbasa ihe omume a na MCLtv Channel 1 kwa ụbọchị Satọde niile malite n'elekere anyị 11 ruo elekere anyị 12 nke ehihie. A ga-egosigharị ya ọzọ n'ụbọchị Mọnde niile n'elekere anyị 4 nke uhuruchi. Nnọkọ ụmụaka, olu ụmụaka maka ọdịmma asụsụ Igbo.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Good morning, Abia. Your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Welcome back again, still on to Good Morning Abia, and of course it's time for us to see and read up what the papers have this morning, the newspaper review segment. We have 3 dailies here, talking about Daily Sun, The Nation, and the New Telegraph. We'll be starting with the Daily Sun, top right corner, and we're seeing a headline: Rivers elders accuse APC of trying to cause emergency rule declaration. Rivers elders accuse APC of trying to cause emergency rule declaration. The story can be found on page 12. 24 hours to Cuba election, titanic battle. Nigerians to elect governors in 29 states, lawmakers nationwide. NSA deploys secret agents, and INEC threatens to cancel results where staff are held hostage. Titanic battles 24 hours to Cuba election, and Nigerians to elect governors in 29 states, lawmakers nationwide. NSA deploys secret agents. INEC threatens to cancel results where staff are held hostage. And it can be found on page 6. We see the picture element of Mugwangi, PDP, that's talking about the gubernatorial candidates. Mugwangi of Enugu State, PDP, Ihejoha of PDP, Imo State, the River State Governor, and of course gubernatorial candidate, PDP, Yesum Mwike, Emmanuel Udom, PDP, Akwa Ibom, Ekere, APC, Akwa Ibom, Oti, Apga, Abia State, and Uche Oga, APC, Abia State, Owoji, APC, Ebonyi State. Those are the gubernatorial candidates, some of the gubernatorial candidates of mostly the southeastern and south states. Enugu Guba, Nwobodo, Ekweremadu stand behind Ugwanyi. Enugu Guba, Nwobodo, Ekweremadu stand behind Ugwanyi can be found on page 11. Abia Guba, Ngwa, Ukwa people, back, APC's Oga. Abia Guba, Ngwa, Ukwa people, back, APC's Oga. My son-in-law will win, says Okorocha. And of course, going on a break, or we'll come back. Good Morning Abia continues. Please stay with us.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
we sincerely apologize for that. But of course, it's still a newspaper review this morning, telling you what is making rounds in the dailies. Of course, once again, we'll start with the Daily Sun on the top right corner there. What we said, Rivers elders accuse APC of trying to cause emergency rule declaration. Rivers elders accuse APC of trying to cause emergency rule declaration, can be found on page 12. "24 hours to Cuba elections, Titanic battle, Nigerians to elect governors in 29 states, lawmakers nationwide, NSA deploys secret agents, INEC threatens to cancel results where staff are held hostage." And of course, we have feature elements of some of the gubernatorial candidates, talking about Uwai of PDP, Enugu State, Ihedioha of PDP, Imo State, Wike, PDP, Rivers State, Emmanuel, PDP, Akwa Ibom State, Ekere, APC, Akwa Ibom State, Oti, Aka, Abia State, Oga, APC, Abia State, and Oboji, APC, Ebonyi State. Enugu Guber, Wobodo, Ekweremadu stand behind Ugwang is a story that can be found on page 11. Abia Guber, Ngwa, Okwa people back APC's Oga can also be found on page 11. "My son-in-law will win," says Rochas Okorocha. "My son-in-law will win," says Rochas Okorocha. And it can be found on page 11. Appeal Court training states Enugu, Taraba, APC, Cuba candidates. Appeal Court training states Enugu, Taraba, APC, Cuba candidates is a story that can be found on page 4. And of course, it's saying something on Jonathan, former president of Nigeria, how Jonathan Fashola arrested Ebola spread in Nigeria, says Iwu. How Jonathan Fashola arrested Ebola spread in Nigeria, says Iwu. It's a story that can be found on page 41. If you're a business lover or someone who is interested in business, well, move to page 2 to note something on business and how to move your business forward. We'll quickly move to the back page of the Daily Sun, where we are seeing a picture element of the technical advisor of the Super Eagles, Ra. And it says Ra wants Nigerians to assess Eagles before AFCON. Ra wants Nigerians to assess Eagles before AFCON, and it can be found on page 45. So if you actually want to assess Eagles before AFCON, we'll move to page 45 and read up how Ra wants you as a Nigerian and a sports lover to assess Eagles before AFCON. And Duro Onabule is a column there. Coming from Duro Onabule says, after winning the first, voters poised for the final round. After winning the first, voters poised for the final round. Talking about the election. It can be found on page 47. Underneath that is a column, Public Sphere, coming from Onoha, okay, and it says, Cuba poll, the clash of personalities. Cuba poll, the clash of personalities. It comes to the picture element of the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, INEC chairman. Okay, to spice up your morning, we have Citizen Joe, that happens to be a character. It says, man faked being deaf and dumb for 52 years to avoid listening to his wife. Wow, he must be a good faker if you ask me. Man faked being deaf and dumb for 52 years to avoid listening to his wife, says News. And Citizen Joy replies, and that is why he lived long. And that is why he lived long. I don't know if Citizen Joe is advising men to actually act fake, being deaf and dumb to avoid listening to their wife. Well, I didn't actually do that. It's coming from Citizen Joe. Meanwhile, we'll quickly move to the Nation newspaper to actually read up what the Nation newspaper has for us this morning. We'll be starting from the top left corner. It says, as a chief got 6 billion naira from NAF funds, court told. As a chief got 6 billion naira from NAF funds, court told. It can be found on page 8. Troops raid Rivers Monarchs Palace. Troops raid Rivers Monarchs Palace is the picture element of the 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 rated monarchs picture element there on page 42. MTN Nigeria to list on exchange. MTN Nigeria to list on exchange. And of course, government promises robust tomato policy. Government promises robust tomato policy. EU observers hail army's rose. EU observers hail army's rose. Afyon heads to Budapest, because the picture element of Afyon there heads to Budapest. Details of the stories can be found on pages 11, 8, and 47, respectively. We see a picture element of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC acting chairman Ibrahim Magu there, and it comes with a story that says EFCC advises tribunal judges, lawyers against stolen funds. EFCC advises tribunal judges, lawyers against stolen funds. Anti-graft war, EFCC faults UK agency. Anti-graft war, EFCC faults UK agency. It's a story that can be found on page 7, and of course, a continuation of the story on EFCC can be found on page 6. Inside is underneath that, Cross River approves 114 million naira for community projects. Cross Rivers approves 140 million naira for community projects. 153 thugs held. A service that can be found on page 42. And we are seeing a picture element underneath that of President Muhammadu Buhari, Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige third right, Nigeria Labour Congress NLC President Ayuba Waba, who led a group of Labour leaders on a visit to the President at the villa in Abuja yesterday. President Muhammadu Buhari, Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige third right, Nigeria Labour Congress NLC President Ayuba Waba, who led a group of Labour leaders on a visit to the President at the villa in Abuja yesterday. Of course, we're seeing a bold headline there. Parties step up campaigns in Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Enugu. Parties step up campaigns in Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Enugu. CMPP backs Ekere. Oshomole urged not to visit Delta. Wike confident. Ugwani declares holiday. Court says Ayogu Eze is APC candidate. Lots of things unfolding as Nigeria goes up to vote once more. Parties step up campaigns in Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Enugu. CMPP backs Ekere. Oshomole urged not to visit Delta. Wike confident. Ugwai declares holiday. Court says Ayogu Eze is APC candidate. And of course, you can see details of these also on pages 2 and 3. Ayade's adoption by SDP Shua says party chair is a story underneath the bold headline. Ayade's adoption by SDP Shua says party chair. 17,000 policemen for election. 17,000 policemen for election. A service that can be found on pages 4 and 42. We move to the back page of the Nation newspaper, where we are seeing today in the Nation, coming from Olukorede Ishao. It says, "We must get out of the hell we have collectively made our dear country. Heaven is sweet, and that is where we belong. Our leaders must show us the right way there. We must get out of the hell we have collectively made our dear country. Heaven is sweet, and that is where we belong. Our leaders must show us the right way." Olukorede Ishao, today in the Nation. Comment and debate is a column underneath that, coming from Shegun Badagashin. It says, "Politics of principle or division." Politics of principle or division is a question, a rhetoric question there, and it comes with picture elements of two patriots there. Talking about founding fathers, the late Chief Awolowo and the late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. And of course, I'll be reading what's written here. Initially, Yoruba progressives found themselves in the same political associations with their counterparts from the southeast and the north. Initially, Yoruba progressives found themselves in the same political associations with their counterparts from the southeast and the north. Talking about politics of principle or division, coming from comment and debate Shegun Badagashin. And we are seeing hardball there. In Bauchi, it is Buhari Mystic versus Buhari's men. In Bauchi, it is Buhari Mystic versus Buhari's men. To read up more of that, well, pick up Nation newspaper, back page, hardball. Okay, we're seeing the character there. Ripples is the title, and it says Pastor impregnates housewife. Pastor impregnates housewife, and we're seeing the man laughing, saying, ha ha ha, product of night vigil. Ha ha ha, product of night vigil. What's the last but not the least, talking about the New Telegraph. To know what the New Telegraph has for us this morning, we'll be starting with the first story. MTN Nigeria generated 1.06 trillion naira in 2018. MTN Nigeria generated 1.06 trillion naira in 2018 to invest 196 billion naira this year. To invest 196 billion naira this year. Telco plans listing before July. Telco plans listing before July. And underneath that, we're seeing picture elements. I was starting with the first one from the left. MBS. 1,538 Nigerians died in road accidents in 3 months. 1,538 Nigerians died in road accidents in 3 months. Coming from MBS, can be found on page 4, and it comes with the picture element of an accident scene. We can see a picture element of the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, says PDP must explain $16 billion per spending. Buhari says PDP must explain $16 billion per spending. And of course, we're seeing a picture element of the CBN governor, Gavin Emefiele, says CBN EFCC move against financial crimes. CBN EFCC move against financial crimes. It's a story that can be found on page 6. There's another picture element of a rape victim there, holding her head, her face down in shame, and it says, "How pastor raped me at 7 by teenager." How pastor raped me at 7 by teenager. Well, to read up more of that story, page 9, move to page 9. Tension in states is a screaming headline. Tension in states. 19 governors battle opposition to retain seats. APC targets Akwa Ibom, Abia, Kwara, Gombe, Sokoto, Benue. APC targets Akwa Ibom, Abia, Kwara, Gombe, Sokoto, Benue. PDP unsettles APC in Lagos, Plateau, Oyo, and Imo State. PDP unsettles APC in Lagos, Plateau, Oyo, Imo State. Soldiers create panic in Rivers State. Soldiers create panic in Rivers State. Military jet to patrol Kwara State. Military jet to patrol Kwara State. Police deploy 15,544 personnel in Rivers for polls. Rivers deploy 15,544 personnel in Rivers for polls. Can be found on pages 2 and 11. We have seen a picture element of some women protesting the arrest of youths and men by unknown military men in their community at Ogu-Bolo local government area in Rivers State yesterday. Some women protesting the arrest of youths and men by unknown military men in their community at Ogu-Bolo local government area in Rivers State yesterday. And of course, we can see the women there with placards, which I'm saying that one of them say, "We say no to intimidation. We say no to intimidation. Release our youths." Those are the placards there. All security agencies, wide intimidation, and so on, among others. And that is feature element there. INEC to conduct supplementary election in 14 states. INEC to conduct supplementary elections in 14 states. It's a story underneath the picture element. IJP, we are ready for troublemakers. IJP, we are ready for troublemakers. Federal government closes land borders. Our stories that can be found on pages 2 and 4. And of course, we have something in science. Scientists, chemicals responsible for global drop in male fertility. Chemicals responsible for global drop in male fertility. Now, if you want to know how these chemicals and what these chemicals are that are responsible for a global drop in male fertility, well, moves to page 10 to actually, know more and guard your fertility with jealousy. Meanwhile, move to the back page of the New Telegraph, and of course, you see something in sports there. Dosu charges Eagles to prove selves at AFCON. Dosu charges Eagles to prove selves at AFCON. And if you are a sports lover, you want to know more on this story, about the story, moves to page 37. And you will actually read out the details of the story. And we're seeing, yes, cheaters can truly love. Coming from Michael West. Can cheaters truly love? There's a question there. Can cheaters truly love? But Michael West actually is trying to say that cheaters can truly love. So yes, according to Michael West anyways, cheaters can truly love. There's a column there on relationship and matters of the heart. Where we are seeing the picture element of a couple with a counselor there, and it says, war in the bedroom, couple meeting a marriage counselor. War in the bedroom, couple meeting a marriage counselor. And of course, it has a continuation on black women as praised, still on black women as praised. So if you want to know if cheaters can truly love, well, move to the back page, New Telegraph, and no. But if you ask me, I don't think cheaters can truly love, if you ask my personal opinion anyways. But meanwhile, that's all for the New Telegraph, and those are the papers and what they have to tell us this morning. We're going on a break. We'll come back with time for us to talk about the papers, to discuss. And of course, you'll be part of the program by calling the number that will be appearing on your screen to call us and tell us your reaction, your comment and contribution to 1, 2, or 3 headlines of the papers that we actually reviewed this morning.
Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say, what did man go do for this world where people no go talk? If you talk,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no talk, then go talk. What did make we do for this world? I say, make we dey do the things where we carry for heart. Now so world wonder. I be not been so.
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
breakfast show on TV. Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV. Good morning, Abia, your one-stop breakfast show on TV.
Welcome back. You're still on to Good Morning Abia, your one-stop breakfast program on TV. And of course, I'm being joined by political analyst Eusebio Substance. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ruth, and good morning, Abians.
Okay. So, sir, we're still on the newspaper review. I'm sure you heard all the headlines that we actually read out this morning. And of course, we wanted to, was there any headline that actually caught your interest, or you want to react to Daily Sun? We're seeing headlines there: 24 hours to go by election, Titanic battle Nigerians to elect governors in 29 states nationwide. NSA deploys secret agents. INEC threatens to cancel results where staff are held hostage.
I have a problem with our country, and most especially the so-called ones we call our leaders. They seem to not realize that all of us are accountable to the Almighty one day. And if we realize we are accountable to the Almighty one day, and that whatsoever you sow, you will reap one day, then some of the things our politicians and our political leaders, both in government and those who are politicians, are doing. Some people are out now to assassinate their opponents. Some people are employing the military to go and arrest people here and there. And most of those people they arrest, some are shot and killed. Blood is flowing in our country, and nobody seems to care. I wonder where the so-called IBBs of this world are. Where are the Obasanjos? Where are the Emeka Anyokos? Where are the people, leaders we have felt were people who should speak out in what is happening in our country at this time? Election is not a do or die thing. Election is thing for freely for everybody to go there and fulfill your franchise for your nation. Choose who you want and who you don't want. If you did not win, you go. And if you feel you are dissatisfied that the election was rigged or whatever, you go to the courts. But I found out that in this country that even the government in power does not obey court orders. And it's annoying. The judiciary is the arm of government that will make everybody, whether a common man or the highest, to be equal in law. But today, they are masquerading the judiciary, they masqueraded the legislature, and that is what we are going to see. Is this the kind of leadership we want to have in Nigeria? I have told us that Africa has not come of age. If this is the way we are going to be ruled, if you go out and see what is happening in Nigeria, somebody that is on a wheelchair still wants to be president, and the Algerians are on the street saying, we will not allow it. Why is it like that we are all here and things are happening? People are being slaughtered, youths are being arrested everywhere indiscriminately. Look at what is happening in River State, and nobody has ever said anything about it. And we are all keeping quiet. Tomorrow, it is them. Tomorrow it could be you. Tomorrow it could be us. So where are the people who should speak out for us in this country? If we can't rule ourselves, please, let's privatize Nigeria for another country to come and take care of us and rule us again.
Do you think that would be better than privatizing Nigeria?
Yes, if we privatize Nigeria, either America or England or whatever should come and start afresh so that...
You mean colonizing us?
You are calling colonization. I don't believe in that. Because we said we won independence in 1960 when we carried the independence flag and cup. Some of these leaders today didn't know what we passed through. We had a vision of an El Dorado, a paradise called Nigeria. And outside world, we are hailing our nation. In the non-aligned nations, which was led by Joseph Tito Pandit-Nehru of India, Joseph Tito of Yugoslavia, Pandit-Nehru Sukarno of Indonesia, they saw Nigeria as a great country. And that was why our Prime Minister then, Abubakar, was called the Golden Voice of Africa. They saw us with good prospects and future. But this kind of leaders we have had over the years has derated and degraded Nigeria. A country that cannot have an election that is credible, a country that cannot have an election that is transparent, a country that cannot have an election that is fair and free. It's a shame. I regret answering a Nigerian by what is happening today.
You can't really say that.
I'm saying it with all equivocation.
So let me ask, at what point did we get it all wrong?
We got it wrong when people are now becoming selfish, greed. Look, election of politicians all over the world aspire to become statesmen, not to remain in the inglorious garb of a politician where you tell lies and propaganda and steal from the people. The wealth of the nation is being shared by a few people, cabal of politicians. It is in this country that an election was going on and somebody brought billion funds and nothing has said anything about it. Is that not corruption?
Okay, so we'll take the call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name? Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Engineer
Right. Please reduce the volume of your TV set, Engineer Elendo, please. Okay, thank you. Better. Okay, let's hear your contribution.
Yeah, I'm happy with what the speaker is saying. Very pathetic. It's what is happening in the country. The ruling party, they are just masquerading and intimidating opposition party members and the leaders. Because I don't know what exactly is their problem. For instance, like what happened with PDP and against APC during the presidential election. I think he, as a major opposition party member, he wants to go to court. And APC are busy intimidating him with arrest, using PSCC to arrest the in-laws and his party chairman and all that. It's very crazy. I don't understand that. If you feel that the election is fair and fair, why not allow whoever that wants to go to court, investigate the results, the materials and all that. The court gives a verdict that they can inspect the material without forensic investigation. It's crazy. So if ABC is doing well and they feel that the election is fair and fair, let them allow every other party to do whatever they feel like to investigate the elections and the results and make sure that it's fair and fair and stop intimidating opposition party and members.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, Engineer Lendo. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, I share with Elendo's opinion. I would like Buhari went to court 3 times when he lost the elections or when he felt that the elections he did not lose or whatever. And nobody stopped him from going to court. And remember, in those 3 times, he never congratulated the incumbent president, the president at that time. Now, what is wrong in Atiku going to court? I would have asked the Atiku law team to appeal the decision of the tribunal. Forensic, this thing have to be done. Unless Nigerians don't want us to get a credible election in Nigeria, there must be forensic listening to know whether the ballot papers are original or not, or manipulated on. So any judiciary, the tribunal saying there will be no forensic listening, it's a trite way for calling for anarchy. It's a trite way of saying that you are supporting injustice. A judge should be impartial. A judge should have his hands clean. You can't say there should be no forensic listening because we want to get to the root of this matter that will stop election rigging in Nigeria, that will stop election manipulations in Nigeria. So let them appeal that that forensic thing must be done so that we know whether it was rigged or not. If it was not rigged, fine. The man remains. If it doesn't, the courts will be there. The judiciary should not be kowtowing to the aspect of what the executive does. There are three arms of government, independent. So we don't want a situation where the executive is dominating the judiciary or dominating the legislature. Every one of them have the jobs given for them by the Constitution. So I share the sentiments of Engineer Lendo.
Okay, sir, you share the opinion of, but that is Engineer Lendo's opinion, and of course you can call us up to tell us your contribution on any of the papers, one or two or three of them. Call the number on your screen, 081-774-57728. Okay, back to you, sir. Well, we actually were discussing something on security, saying that that day people complained that some polling units there were not enough presence of security agents, and now we're seeing some policemen have been deployed to it. Now, what do you have to say about security in the forthcoming election?
The issue is not the issue of only deploying the security. It's the issue of what is the mandate given to the security. Is the mandate given to the security to be apolitical?
Yes, it is.
If the mandate is to be apolitical, then why should security men? You saw the picture of a DCP that was taken by the thugs in Bayelsa State. What was his role? What was he doing in the other camp? These are issues. If you are asked to go there and be apolitical, why should the army? Why is the army being used in an election matter? The Supreme Court of Nigeria, the highest court in the country, has said that the military has nothing to do with election. So why is the military being sent to go to the election areas? And now they are going everywhere, harassing people in River State, in other places. People are being shot. Innocent people, flying bullets can kill anybody. These are the issues. The question is, if you are deployed for an assignment, are you apolitical? Forget about party. Do that job you are sent to do. I have always said it. It is not APC police. It is not the government police. It is Nigeria police. That means the nation owns the police. And their first order is they are subservient to the nation. The military is Nigerian military, Nigerian army, Nigerian navy. It's not APC navy, APC army, or Buhari's government. No, it is Nigeria, and Nigeria is greater than any individual or group of persons. So if you are sent on on duty, you should not care whether the government in power or the opposition. Do the right thing. You can't come and say people here should not vote for these people. Look at what happened in Lagos State. The whole of Igbos in Lagos State were disenfranchised, and nobody has seen anything about it. That alone, is it not corruption? And you are now saying that a people at that race that did not vote, then you are saying your election is credible. Is that election credible?
But international observers said the election...
The international observers, they were railroads.
I mean, what do they have to lose by saying...
Yes, they have to lose because they were afraid of going home as body bags. The threat was that they would go home as body bags. And that's why they didn't go. They refused to say the truth. The international observers didn't say the truth. You and us were here when we were asking even our reporters out there what is happening in this local government. They tell you that there's only one security man. That even as of 5 o'clock, that the materials have not come. So if materials have not come at what time did the election take place? Let's be realistic. Why is it that Nigerians like lies, propaganda? People don't like to tell truth to anybody. That is why the country from 1960 has not been moving forward. We've been going down, retrogressing. It will get a point if we don't take time. Nigeria will be worse than what is happening in Venezuela. Because Venezuela was one of the richest countries in the world because of the oil. But our own has come a nemesis to us. People, a few cabal are stealing our country dry. And all of us are here.
Okay, sir. Well, let us also look at arrival of election material, just like you said. Well, according to reports that we actually read out this morning, the news says that election materials have gotten to various places. Don't you think this time around election materials will come at the various polling units early and in time, unlike what we saw in most polling units last election?
You see, I have a problem with that. Election materials have reached the polling units, yes. The question is, how transparent is the umpire? As far as I'm concerned, if you can remember, I have been telling this from the beginning of time, that I have no trust on Professor Mahmoud's INEC. And they have exemplified it by giving us the most warped, the most rigged, and the most discredited election ever in this country since 1959 elections. I've been following Nigerian elections from 1959 to this day. This is the worst we've ever had, no matter who is claiming victory. Because an election where people are disenfranchised, an election where people are slaughtered and killed, election where candidates in one side of the country are not working, and in some other places they are working, even where they are not working, you told us that without candidates, you will not vote. And in another side of the country, those without candidates are voting, even with underage people. Does that show credibility?
INEC has come to say that in this coming election, that candidates are mandatory, that if the candidate is maybe there are problems in that area, it will be 0 for that particular polling.
Then why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen the last one? But he gave us all the assurances that the candidates were okay and that there will be no problems. Why the double speak? Look, anybody that lives in life without the sincerity of purpose, without truth, believing you can hoodwink the people with lies and propaganda, has not won. Because we will have a date with our Maker. We will pay for whatever we have done on this earth. Nothing that is done, no wrong that is done, that will not pay for it. Let them do. They can smile and share and all that. Look, I am open. I like to be. Look, even though within myself I might be a member of one political party, but in an election you must be apolitical, because anybody can win. You belong to a party, yes. The other man belongs to a party, but it is the electorate, the people that decide who they want to be their leader, and that is how it is. It's not a do or die thing. You mustn't tell the people, I must rule you if I don't rule you. No. That is not how it is done.
Okay, so sir, so also let us look at logistics problem. You can remember last time the election was postponed due to logistics problem, and of course, even after postponing the election, we still saw logistics problem come to play again. So what do you think can be done this time around? It's just 24 hours to depose.
There will still be logistics problem.
Why do you say so, sir?
Because this umpire is a confused umpire. This umpire does not have an intention. The umpire is not apolitical as far as I'm concerned. I'm talking about my personal opinion. An umpire that is not impartial, there will be logistics problems. And some of the materials that will come out from INEC will not go to the destination of the polling units. Some will miss around and go to some people's homes, where people will stay to thumbprint. I'm talking about all over the states. They will not go to the polling units where people are going to vote. And also, as a result of the killings and all that, there might also be voter apathy. A lot of people might not want to come. Who wants to lose his life? So this is the kind of a nation we cried for independence from the colonial masters. A nation that has taken us 500 million miles backwards because of the kind of leaders we have. If I answer I have integrity, if I answer I'm a man of honesty, must I live in a country like this where election, you know the greatest corruption? Electoral fraud. Electoral corruption is the worst. It's worse than financial corruption. So an umpire must make sure that I don't belong to anybody. The problem we have here is that once you are appointed, you are believing that the man that appointed you is the man you koto to. Once you are given an appointment, it is the Nigerian state that gave you the appointment, not the president. The president did not go there for himself. His father doesn't have the resources of Nigeria. Some of them, their father were common peasants. Some of them were common headsmen. Some of them were nobodies as well. But today, God has made them because we decided we want you to be our head of state. Go there. Does that make you now to lord it over us? The power belongs to the people. You can't lord it over us. And Nigerians are keeping quiet everywhere. Even the people who are supposed to talk are kotoing. What kind of a nation is this?
Okay, so sir, although you're sounding aggrieved and all that, sir, but meanwhile, let us all bring it down to Abia State. How ready do you think INEC is for the forthcoming election in Abia State?
I said that the umpire. When I say the umpire, when I mean INEC from the headquarters are the same thing all over. Elections that were done in Abia State, some election results have not come out.
There'll be a rerun.
They're talking about rerun. What was the cause that those elections, that the results did not come? Where some people already were winning. And then, before you know it, somebody says it's inconclusive and all that. No, what for? Can't we try and... Why do we answer Africa's greatest nation? Why do we answer the most populous black nation in the world? Why is it that we are seen as an example to other black nations? But because the so-called giant with clay feet, a giant with clay feet. I remember certain things happened in this country. I went to the Republic of Benin. When I talked about this, what Benin told me, say, Nigeria, big fool. I looked at him. I wanted to catch him and strangulate him. But on a second thought, I looked at myself. He said certain things that happen in our country cannot happen in their country. Yes, and he's right. They have lights continuously. Why are we not having here? Let's come to that. There are a lot of things. A nation with great promise, a nation with great potentials. Just when Tanzania president was alive, Julius Nwale Munyere, he said, "Give me Nigeria and I'll make it the greatest nation in the whole world." And here we have our own people not doing anything. All they are doing here is just stealing resources from everywhere.
Okay, so sir, we have a headline here that says PDP actually misspent. Okay, let's leave that. Okay, so what does this particular this whole thing, the things playing out, what does it signify for Nigerian politics and of course Nigeria internationally?
What it signifies internationally is that the white people are mocking at us. The international community are mocking at Nigeria. Forget of whatever you see. See, when a white man wants to mock you, if you have gone to a bar and meet a white man, you know, because there are certain things Nigerians do. Nigerians drink beer with a straw. Beer is not taken with straw. Immediately they see you doing that. You know what the white will do? He makes his nose like this. Straw is meant for fruit juice. Straw is meant for minerals. Beer is meant with a cup or a jug. But our people, our leaders has messed up this nation. I am ashamed. I said this, I have not regard saying it. In 1960, I was all over the place. We sang. I can sing that song. 1960, Nigeria won independence. Nima faho anyachiwo iwanyo azikiwe inando para jisenike uno kwadebe 1960 yewo ndị ọcha ga-ahapụ Nigeria gawe besorfa ụmụ Naija nwanne m anyị ga-achịgbu onwe anyị ụmụ Naija nwanne m anyị ga-achịgbu onwe anyị. We are a foolish race that don't want to think. Look at what the Ichonwanye, look at how it is. Greed and grab. It's a shame. We should bury our heads in shame. So, coming to Nigeria, the international community sees us as a nation that cannot even lead Africa. Forget of the rise of propaganda. We don't have it. Look at small Ghana. If you go out in the world and say you're a Ghanaian, the people look at you, they hail you. But immediately you say Nigerian, they want to look 2 times because they either see you as a thief, they either see you as a 419er, they either see you as other thing. But that doesn't mean that not Nigerians who have excelled. In the international community, Nigerians are the best in medicine, in every sphere of life. But because of useless leaders we have ever had, that's what has kept us this way. It is not the people. The people are very energetic, industrious and all that. But when we bring up people who say they are going to serve us, they go to serve their personal pockets and serve their primordial interests. Instead of thinking about the people first. If you live in a society, even in your compound, where you are the only one that is eating food and everybody is hungry, you are the poorest of the poor. Because one day the people will react. Mark what I've told you. If they continue this way, before the next decade, Nigeria will explode, whether they like it or not.
Okay, sir. Before that happens, let us look at Rochas Okorocha. He was suspended from APC. He has been suspended, and of course, he has come out to say that his son-in-law will win the gubernatorial election in Imo State. What do you have to say about that, sir?
I know that Rochas Okorocha is a jester. He's the author of what we call the language of Iberiberism. When Iberiberism starts coming up in people's lives.
Okay, sir. Just for the thoughts, sir. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Ginger Newman.
All right, sir.
I just want to comment your guest on innocence and intelligence and I don't know another adjective I will use to modify speech. And I just want to encourage you to keep on. This is Nigeria. There's nothing we can do again. But just like what he said, whatever you do, find that call where you will answer for you. Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir. You said there's nothing we can do anymore about it.
Yeah, we can do something. What we can do is this, that every Nigerian who believes in this nation that God gave to us, this nation was not given to the politicians. This nation called Nigeria was given to the ordinary citizens of this country. We have to retake what belongs to us. And when we see injustice anywhere, we should come out and fight for it, cry for it, get to the streets against it. Because whenever you say it doesn't concern me, and you don't want to say the truth, death will come one day. Whether you tell the truth, you will die. Whether you tell a lie, you will die. Whether you are neutral, you will die. We can't continue like this. This country is God's given country for us. A country that God gave us. And our founding fathers, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Macaulay and whatever and all that, Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, Awolowo, Dr. Okpara, Eni Joko, Esiwapa, the one that is remaining today, Mbazulika Mechi in Okpo, and all others. Ribadu, Dab Charima, Yaradua's father, who was the Minister of Lagos Affairs, and all that. We had a national anthem that was to make us one of the greatest of all nations. And that national anthem said, Nigeria, we held our own, their native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle or not, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. We didn't ask any other request from God, just one. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, whether you are Fulani, whether you are Kanuri, whether you are Ejo, whether you are Igbo, whether you are Anang, whether you are Ibibio, whether you are Shekiri, whether you are Urobo, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are whatever, Kogi, name it, whatever you come, where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria will be blessed. But we came and had leaders that become what do I call them? That has messed up the real intentions of the founding fathers of this nation. Is this a nation? A nation where we cannot have an election that is credible? A nation where we cannot have an election that is transparent and free and fair? And you want me to say I'm a Nigerian, I should be proud of it?
So it's still a nation, we don't have any nation.
Yes, we don't have a nation outside that. The only thing to do is that the people should reclaim the country that belongs to them. And that's the only way out.
Okay, so sir, yes. The nation is all ours, sir. We don't have any other nation. We have to defend our nation.
So we have to reclaim our nation.
Okay, sir. Noted, sir. Well, sir, let's get back to Rochas Okorocha. You were saying something.
So Rochas.
Before the call.
Rochas, unless the Imolites, if the Imolites as a whole are foolish and non-human beings, they should allow Rochas to run them roughshod. But if they are human beings and they are sons and daughters of their parents, they will tell Rochas that no man is God. Nobody can play God.
Okay, so sir, please hold on. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
Well, the man that is in that station.
Okay.
And you can come out of the mayor and the head of the. Yeah.
Okay.
You can have somebody like you, all this nation, or maybe in that case, you have this kind of person like 3 or 4 people who can talk for us. I know that there needs to be a lot of change.
Okay.
Thank you for what you're saying there.
Okay.
I so much love for what needs to be done.
I'm sure he's listening.
You know, my chairman.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling. Well, he commends you, says to be a suspense. So if there are like 2 persons like you in other state, that will be.
It is not going to be 2, 3, 4 people or 5 people of like me. It's going to be all Nigerians. We should reclaim the country that belongs to us from the cabal of people that have decided by using the name politicians or whatever to railroad us into poverty. Today, Nigeria is the world's capital of poverty. Is it a good reason for us? Why must we do that? I remember by the time some of us were going to overseas, a naira was equivalent to a pound, to $1, a naira. So how come today a dollar is about 300 or 400 naira? Is it a shame? What kind of leaders do we have? And everybody's hailing. We hail non-entities. I'm sorry to use that word.
Please, mind the language. Sir.
So let us come back home. Nigerians should decide and recover their country. That belongs to us.
Okay, so sir, still on elections in Imo State, do you think, let's start from this.
I don't think Rochas Okorocha's in-law will win the election. The Imo State people have a date with history to tell Rochas Okorocha that he cannot play God. And that is what is going to happen today or tomorrow.
But it is suspension, right? Was it right to have suspended him? I mean, this was a man who brought in APC.
APC suspension is not why I want to go into it. It is their personal problem. But then, if we are to follow truth, what Rochas Okorocha is doing is anti-party activities. So the party has a right to suspend him from the party, if they are truly a party. But the issue is that why Rochas Okorocha is showing strong head or whatever he's saying is that the party leadership itself did not come up on what we call internal democracy. The chairman of the party was selected because he did not win as the grounds of the constitution of the party that says. So they just put him there. And that's why Rochas Okorocha himself is disobeying party orders.
So, sir, what are your fears in this forthcoming election, especially in Abia State? What are your fears?
My fears is that I wouldn't want to say fears. I would want to say that whoever, all the political parties, please, there should be no killing of people. There should no ballot box snatching. There should no violence of any type. allow the citizenry go there and choose who their leader will be. It is the choice of the citizenry. Let the citizenry don't sell their voter's card. I, Yusebieke Substance, cannot sell my voter's card even for 50 million. Even if I have no food to eat, I cannot sell my voter's card for 50 million or even 100 million. Because of what? That is my power to decide whom I want to be there to rule me or to serve me. But if I sell it for 10,000 naira, as some people are doing, those who are doing vote buying, they should bury their heads in shame. Because after you have sold it, he's going to stay there for the next 4 years, and all the commonwealth of everybody, he will utilize it for his personal aggrandizement, and will be here suffering. You'll be here buying rice for 30 naira or 18 naira, 18,000 naira. It is your shame. But if you have your voter's card and apply it very well for whom you think will give you the right leadership, or if you think that the present leader has done well, you re-elect him so that he will do better. That is how it is done all over the world. Why must our own be different?
Why must our own be different? So, sir, also, let us finally, before we actually let you go, how do you think we can get it right this time around? How can we get it right? If you are to advise, or you are to be an advisor, to be in the best position, how can we get it right in our nation?
You see, it is late to get it right. I'm sorry to use that word.
Why do you say so?
Yes, we can only get it right after these elections. Because these elections have been programmed by the umpire that this election must fail. As far as I'm concerned, the election of 2019 in Nigeria is a failure. Because even by the time you see tomorrow, there will be more killings, there will be more violence, there will be more things happening. You understand what I'm saying? Because the umpire is not apolitical. The umpire is not apolitical. The umpire is apolitical and closes his ears from politicians, closes his ears from the government, that I want to leave a name, a legacy that I will be remembered for all my life. See what happened in Senegal. See what happened in Ghana. The Ghanaians, the independent, they call it independent nation, but it's also appointed by the government of Ghana. It's not true. But when the man goes there, he does the job. You were there when Rollins appointed the man who was a decision. Still, the man, Rollins government party, lost. That is, you leave a name, a legacy for yourself. That even if you die, posterity will remember you and your children. That this family is honest. As far as I'm concerned, the leadership of INEC in this election, they are the worst we have ever had.
But we can't really actually say that because we still have one more election.
This is the election that's coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And it is going to be the same thing. Vote buying, ballot boxes snatching, people are being shot and killed. That is what we are going to have. You will see.
But specifically, INEC has assured that what happened, the shortfalls that happened in the last election would not repeat.
The leopard doesn't change his spots. They have been programmed to make sure that the party they have in mind must win in all the states. If it's possible, they will get it in all the states. And that's why all these filters of violence, they are using soldiers. Why must the soldiers be used to go and shoot people? For what? Most of these people arrested will be shot unnecessarily. Innocent citizens of this country. And we have leaders, we have the so-called international community seeing these things happening. And then the judiciary, when they come, people who just browse them, they are the one being bashed. They don't know that they have to reinvent themselves and restore the dignity of the judiciary. I pity for our nation called Nigeria.
Okay, so sir, finally, now there are things happening, events unfolding under the election. Don't you think that this will go along? What are you going to tell people who will be afraid of violence at the election? Because, like you said, there'll be voter apathy. Now, what do you have to say about to actually assuage the fears of people to calm it down. Do you think it will actually affect voters? Firstly, do you think that actually affect voter apathy? And if it will, what can be done? What can be done to actually bring down or calm the situation so that people can go out there to exercise their
My good sister, I look you eyeball to eyeball to tell you the truth. A lot of people will not want to vote. Nobody wants to lose his life. A lot of people will tell you they don't want to vote, that the votes don't count. Because the people they voted, and they were sure the people they voted won the election, and somebody is now parading as the person that is won the election. So they don't want to vote again. It is a personal choice. No matter how I will come and tell them, go and vote, because I will go to vote. But even if some of them, you tell them, even if you call, they say, I'm not going, my vote doesn't count. An umpire has made it that votes don't count in Nigeria. As of Saturday evening of 2010, the election result was known all over the country. But the umpire decided to collude, manipulate, and all that, and gave us a name and gave us a victory that is. There was no people were not happy even when the results were announced. You should know this. People should stop hiding under the cloak of not telling the truth. In other places, when an election is won, there's rejoicing. Even the ordinary people on the street, they rejoice. But this one, everybody, there was a lot of, it was like a mourning house all over the country. So this one, people will not come. Those who will come are just saying, let us just go. Because they are afraid that their votes will not count. This present INEC made us realize that votes don't count in our elections. The last election of 2015, in spite of the failings of Jega made us know that votes count. And that was why when Buhari was announced as the president, there was rejoicing all over the place. You were here in 2015. Because the votes counted. The result came the next morning. INEC brought the result and they started showing the result. But this one, colluding and let's go on break. And then some people will come who will even come. The figures don't tally. Go and touch the figures and all that. What does that show? And we are not schoolboys. We are mature people who has intellect. Even more intellectual than the people who are leading us today. But that's the truth.
Okay, so sir, just hold on to the torch. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. All right. Call us back, sir. Please. So finally, sir, your last words.
My last word is this. Nigerians.
So before you actually have a caller. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from. Please reduce the volume of your TV set. Please, while calling, reduce the volume of your TV set, or you move away from the TV set entirely, so that we can hear you clearly, and of course we can communicate with you. The phone line is still on your screen: 081-7745-7728. Call us and of course make your contribution or reaction to both the headlines and of course to what our guest Yusobia Substance has been analyzing this morning. So back to you, sir.
The only way out is this. I urge Nigerians to go and vote. But I want, and I'm urging the judiciary, the election tribunals, to allow forensic.
Okay, sir, excuse me, sir. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Okay, please, sir.
To allow forensic experts to look at the ballot papers, look at the result sheets, look at the decisions to find out whether the truth. For the lawyers or the judges to say there will be no forensic decision, they are acquiescing to corruption. I will not miss my words over it. If they say there will be no forensic decision to these things, then they are acquiescing to corruption. And the worst corruption is electoral corruption. They are part and parcel of this handwriting on the wall that has kept Nigeria 500 million miles backwards. They should allow forensic experts to make sure we find out where did we get wrong. If we can get it right now and stop these manipulations, the next election in 2023 will be the best of elections. This one, 2019 elections, the one that has gone and the one they are going to have now is the worst warped and rigged and discredited election we will ever have.
So, say advice to the youth finally, because youth also play
the
a very active role.
The youth should not go to carry ballot boxes, no thuggery. If you want to go and vote, vote and go. If you want to stay there and watch them count the results, you count the results. The question is that the results that are given at the polling units don't count. That's the problem I'm getting. The real results are the ones that are got in the polling booths, not the ones that are given in the collection centers. The ones that are given in the collection centers are manipulated. Let us be realistic.
Please reduce. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from. Please continue.
Yes. The results at the polling units at the end of the elections that are counted there and they're written down are the real results of the elections all over the country. Anyone, when he lives there and they say they are going to collection center and whatever, that's where the razzmatazz, the abracadabra is done.
All right, thank you very much. You serve your substance, but of course, INEC has come to say and assure Nigerians that the election will be free, credible, and of course transparent. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we can't really actually.
You people can keep your fingers crossed. As far as I'm concerned, this INEC cannot give us a credible election.
We can't really say that, but let's take this call then. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from. Yes. Okay, can you please speak up? We can't hear you. Speak up, please.
Okay, for God is what my son is saying in that place.
Okay, concur with what you're saying.
If you have finished with your family, because you come around, our way doesn't come. And what of that? And I see her, then I went out of the vision of the country. Every year, every decision you are taking. So, this time around, I'm not sure that I will come out with it.
But you can't really say that for sure. That was last election.
I say that last election was highlighted. This time around, I'm a friend of my life, I'm not sure. My friend is saying,
well. Okay.
Our leader, let's just condemn and fair election so that we cannot come out and our leader.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. He's saying that the last election wasn't really, he faced difficulties and it was violent. Sort of like this time around, he's scared. He's afraid of violence erupting. He's scared of his life. So, scared for it. So he doesn't think he's going out to do it.
I think the problem a lot of us have, including you who is even talking with me, is because we don't want to say the truth. The truth is that the last election is just a foreplay of what is going to happen in this election. Why do I say so? The incumbents in the states will want to remain. Am I right? Then the people who want to come and take over from them will also want to come and take over at all costs.
So before you finish your answer, let's take this call once. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Mr. Harrison. Mr. Harrison, calling from Goodmorning.
All right, Mr. Harrison, let's hear your contribution.
Yeah, my contribution is that you feel to go and go. There's a constant that we do have to do. But you know what is happening around. I don't know what is happening. Sometimes you feel like because the time you feel that you get what is like shooting somebody there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harrison. Mr. Harrison says he's not going out to do it because, the military there should be security personnel guarding, and you find out that even the security personnel, even the one that he is alleging that they are being used to perpetrate electoral violence, so he's not going out to.
Are you not in this country? Some of us try to behave as if we live in Uganda. We live in Nigeria. And we are seeing it happening. And we pretend. Why is it that people, our leaders, pretend?
Okay, so hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
I am Alfred Branson.
Okay, sir. Welcome.
I'm calling you from Okoye.
Welcome to the program, sir. Let's hear your contribution.
My view is that last Saturday on 23rd I did vote, but I discovered that my vote doesn't count, and therefore I cannot get back tomorrow to vote. Because I discovered that the INEC has not lived to expectation, and the result for the election has already been manipulated.
How can you be sure of that?
So there's no need to.
How can you be sure of that? INEC has come to say that all the shortcomings in the last election, that they're going to perfect, they're going to make it work this time around. Why don't you give them a trial? We can't really conclude before the elections.
Well, seeing is belief. My name is Thomas. I doubt if this INEC can do that. You know, let me tell you something. Nigeria has come to a level that whosoever that pays the bypass, you take the fee.
Okay.
So that's the thing. So there's no need to go out to vote and risk your life.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Thomas. He says his name is Thomas, so he doubts.
I concur with him. If INEC wants to give, if Mahmoud, I call him his name because the box stops on his table. The only way he can let somebody like me trust him is only if Mahmoud will cancel the last elections. If Mahmoud can come up and cancel the election of February 23rd, let us have a rerun of that election again. I'll be confident of him. Because that election was waxed, rigged, and discredited election. And there is no iota of truth. The man they said won never won because the truth is bitter. It has to be told.
Now we're seeing lots of electoral apathy and political apathy. People are actually saying they're not going out to vote.
Yes. Who want to lose his life? Who want to cast a vote where your vote will not count? And I was trying to tell you something. In all the states, the 29 governors want to remain. Yes or no? Why are we pretending? And those who want to come and take them out are coming all out with all armada to fight them. Is it not true? It is sure. And the people who are there want to say, look, I have my own armada, you cannot take it from me. It is no longer now a question. And then with the kind of connivance of the partial umpire, let me use that word, anything goes. Our votes don't count in Nigeria any longer, especially in this election. This is the worst I said as from 1959 to date, this is the worst we have ever seen in Nigeria.
Well, so we can't really, like I would say, we can't really be sure.
I've finished.
Tomorrow will actually prove you wrong, all right?
As of now, people are being killed in River State. Are you aware? Innocent citizens are arrested by the military and they are being shot. Are you aware? For this election. Is it because it has not started here?
So let's take the call. Hello, good morning. Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you. Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay. My name is Engineer Obama.
Okay.
I was listening to the commentator.
All right. So please, can you speak up?
In my view, the commentator is very much pessimistic.
It's very much.
Pessimistic.
Okay.
Give chance to the people doing the job. Then after that, instead of discouraging the masses, the prophetic voters, you can make an informed expression of what happened. If you tell people not to vote, then what are we doing? result is clear, it's not fair. That's my only contribution.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for calling. Thank you. Mr. Sobe, you would want to, and you have to react to that. It says you're pessimistic.
I like that. I like his positivism. But I know that there are a lot of pretenders in this country who don't like to say the truth.
But they're not pretending.
No, listen.
In the country.
See, in this country, we have a lot of people who hide under the question of, let's do it. We've done it once and we'll keep doing it, and they'll keep recycling it. And people don't want to come up and be honest to themselves and say, enough is enough. We have had this thing. This is not the first time. This is not the second time. This is not the third time. This is not the fourth time. Even in one of the elections, the then president who benefited from it came up and said, Nigerians, I apologize on behalf of what happened, that this is the most flawed election, even though it brought me. But somebody is glorifying himself in a discredited, worked and rigged election and believing he won.
But our caller just said you shouldn't discourage people
So,
from going out.
nobody is being discouraged. I didn't discourage anybody. I said...
Because of the way you were going
No. I didn't discourage anybody. I said people should go out and vote. I said it earlier. But the fact remains, I said there will be voter apathy because people have seen what has happened to them in the last election. Okay. For instance, the Igbos who voted in Lagos, who were to vote in Lagos.
We'll get back to that. Hello, good morning. Welcome. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good morning. We can hear you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. My name is Mike. I'm calling from Port Harcourt Road here in Abia.
It's a pleasure.
First of all, I salute the guest and also MCL. May I salute you too?
Thank you.
For getting somebody that is outspoken to tell us the truth. You know, truth is bitter. He said it is good to be good with exceptional character. What we are noticing in this country today is totally wrong and unacceptable. If you want to doubt me, come to Port Harcourt Road by tomorrow. Youths that should prefer to take over are ready to play football on the road. Is it proper? Because we have lost the confidence on people that we thought will represent us very well. No discipline, no decorum, nothing. For how many years, just like the speaker rightly said, from 1960 till today, and we keep on saying we will get it right. When are we going to get it right? I know my age now, and how many times have I gone to polls? And after voting, the end result will be irrelevant. What is happening in the north? There is no killing in the north. And here, southeast is being militarized. Police, here and there, maiming, killing.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
That is very wrong. What is wrong with our people?
Okay. Thank you very much.
People will try to elect the send us.
All right, so because of time, thank you very much.
Can't get it right immediately.
Of course we
can. But we are supposed to rise up, else the end point will be disastrous.
All right,
I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I'm even assuring you that.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Because of time, we have to actually, round up the program. So, sir, over to you. Finally, before we actually round up the program.
I did not say nobody should go to vote. So the man who said I was pessimistic, he is even more pessimistic in essence. I'm not trying to retort back. Because he doesn't like to tell truth. Truth is bitter, it has to be told, no matter whose ox is God. We are going to be accountable to our maker. We must all live here one day. Dr. Nandaziko is no longer here. Ahmad Bello is no longer here. Owolowo is no longer here. Okpara is no longer here. They will all live one day. Okay, so see, everybody should go out and vote. But if you feel, it is a personal choice. If you want to feel that you are at risk, you stay in your house. But I admonish everybody to go and vote. I will vote. Then after voting, I will still come and do my job.
Okay.
But that is it.
All right. Thank you very much because of time. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
substance. It was really a pleasure having you on the program this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers, with that, we've come to the end of today's edition of Good Morning Abia. Trista, you have been actually educated, and of course, that was You Save Your Substance, who actually analyzed and handled the newspaper review with me, who was my guest on today's program. Well, tomorrow is another day, of course, for another edition of Good Morning Abia. And of course, election monitor right here on MCLtv, giving you live reports, situation reports on the election and how it actually will be moving tomorrow. So keep a date with us tomorrow on MCLtv. Up next is Una Salachi. I am Ruth Oham. To have a wonderful day.
MCL, the word in your home.